Hi everybody, today's video is about books I read this summer. I don't read unless there's outer accountability, and in my case that outer accountability is joining our library book club. So the first book is The City of Girls. It's written by the same author that wrote Eat, Pray, Love, Elizabeth Gilbert. The moderator of our group tried to, make us dig deep. And my argument for this book is it's a great summer read. Like by the beach, by the pool, on your sofa. Don't think too much into it. Don't go that deep into the role of women and New York and lesbians and the theater. Don't worry about it. Just read it for what it is. Sometimes you just need that kind of book. The next book is Colson Whitehead's The Nickel Boys. So The Nickel Boys is about a school in Florida that was used as a correctional facility as well as a school, and it was open for a long time. I think it only closed in recent history. And a lot of tragic things happened, and it's a really good book to talk about race and the juvenile correctional facilities, cruelty, and how do you sit by when children are being hurt. And I wanted to do this book review in the summer, but in the summer, I don't know if you were paying attention to the news, but Canada was dealing with its own residential school revelation that children were murdered and they found graves, and it caused a lot of uproar. I tried to wish my family and friends Happy Canada Day on 4th of July, and there was a lot of anger on Facebook and saying this year Canada Day is cancelled, and kids went to school in orange in protest. And I just kind of felt like once the anger has dissipated, it's a nice discussion to have, and I think Colson Whitehead's book will support that discussion. Next, this is Lessons from a Sheepdog, a true story of transforming love. Now, we rescued a 6-year-old golden lab mixed with a golden retriever, and we strongly suspect a history of abuse. So whenever I see something with a sheepdog, for some reason these dogs tend to be problematic because it's always a sheepdog on the cover, I'll pick up the book. Don't pick up this book. This book was a waste of time. I don't like religious books that trick me, and this is the second or third time I've been tricked. I'll link another missed opportunity book review. So if you're going to talk about the Bible and religion, do so, but be transparent about it. And if you're going to do dog behavior and rescue, do so, but be transparent about it. And this book, I felt like it didn't do a good job of either, so don't recommend. Next, I just finished this book this morning. This is Trevor Noah's Born a Crime. So we all know who Trevor Noah is. He took over The Daily Show after Jon Stewart left, and he's doing a great job. I really enjoy Trevor Noah. I've seen him in Caesars Arena in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, right after the 2016 election, and he was brilliant. And I don't know why I separate the comedian from the writer, because this book was so well written that I couldn't believe Trevor wrote it. And then I'm like, wait, why wouldn't he be a great writer? He's a stand-up comic. All he does all day long is write. There's a scene in this book that is so funny that I couldn't sleep, and at 2 a.m. I picked up the book and started reading, and it took all the self-control in the world not to laugh out loud and wake up my husband. So, great book. Here's what I want to ask you. What are your thoughts on his mother, Patricia Noah? I have strong feelings about her, and I want to know what you think. Yes, she's a strong woman. There's no question. She raised her children on her own as a single mother. Do you question her decisions? Do you question her decision to have a child with a Swedish man during the apartheid? So that's my first question. Second question, how much do you really know about the apartheid? Because I thought I knew enough to be a person who can contribute to a conversation. Nope, I didn't. I didn't know how carefully apartheid was constructed. They actually went to different countries, India, the US, studied racism, studied how to institutionalize it, studied just the technicalities of it, and then inflicted it on a nation of people. And that blew my mind. And great book. So first question about Patricia, second question about apartheid, and third question, do you think this should be taught in school? My argument is yes. So get ready for the next controversial topic. There has been a lot of protests and debate and frankly uncivilized discourse about mask mandates. Are we surprised? But there's also a lot of uncivilized discourse about critical race theory. I wish it had a better PR person because critical race theory sounds too critical. And race doesn't need to be so threatening. People don't need to be abusive in town hall meetings. You can just say, look, can we just talk about this? And this book is a great entry into that world of how do we educate kids about race, because this book clearly demonstrates that race is an artificial construct. Sadly, it is so pervasive and it's ruined everybody's joy out of life in the worst ways in some situations, but it's a nice way to just have a discussion. So even if we can't have critical race theory in schools, at least we can just have a discussion about the book and start there. So highly recommend this for a book club. I can't say enough good things. Good job, Trevor Noah. Also, one more thing. In the unlikely event that Trevor Noah is watching this video, incredibly unlikely, I think he has room for a second book. After you read this book, tell me what you think about that. I don't mean in the autobiographical sense. I mean, given what we've been through with the pandemic and now he's living in the United States, what are your thoughts now on race and politics and the world and people and motivations? I think he has enough room for a second book, and if he wants me to outline his next book, I'll do it. So Trevor Noah, Born a Crime, highly recommend. The book I want us to read for the fall is Interpreter of Maladies, Jhumpa Lahiri. This book got a lot of critical acclaim. It is a Pulitzer Prize winner, and here is what one of the Newsweek critics said about the book. Jhumpa Lahiri writes such discreet, translucent prose you almost forget you're reading. This remarkable first collection gains much of its power from the gentle narrative voice. Lahiri's language is uncluttered. She's sparing with metaphor, and the riches accumulate unobtrusively. Newsweek. I agree with everything. I mean, you were reading this and just time just melts away. It's beautifully done. I'm in the very beginning. I'm on page 13. And so far, all I know is that there's a young couple. I don't really know if they've known each other long before getting married, but there may or may not be a pregnancy, and it may or may not have ended well. So that's where I've started. It looks like it takes place across multiple locations. India, Boston, Tucson. So it looks really good. Hope you like it, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye now.